Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 5th, 2016. My name is Cliff Backus, and this is your pushbuttonstocktrading.com daily video market review. Much of what we do at Push Button Stock Trading is based in part or in full on William O'Neill's classic book, How to Make Money in Stocks. O'Neill utilizes the acronym CANSLIM to identify the important elements of what he's looking for in a trade. The N in CANSLIM stands for New Products or Management and reminds us that we need something new and exciting to sustain longer-term profit growth. The L in CANSLIM stands for Leader or Laggard. It's important to identify where the leadership in the market is. To that end, we use HGSI, High Growth Stock Investors Spectrum Analyzer, to identify market leadership on a daily basis. So let's get started with that. Yesterday, of the top 100 most powerful stocks in the most powerful industry groups, we see that 12 were from the specialty apparel sector. 7 were from integrated utilities. 7 were from real estate investment trust. 6 were from midstream oil and gas, and rounding out the top 5, we had managed care and mass merchants. These would be good places to look for strength when the market begins to turn around here. Let's start today with the Russell 2000. As you know, we've been watching the Russell 2000. I think the Russell 2000 is the key to the market going forward here. We've been watching the Russell struggle with this support area down here in the 1141 range. We've also been concerned about this trend line. You can see that yesterday the Russell undercut both this level of support and this trend line and closed well below both of them. That's a discouraging sign to the bulls. We'll now see if the Russell can hold support back here at its October lows in the 1079 area. See what the NASDAQ Composite's up to. But before we do that, according to our market timing model, we're on a sell signal. A sell signal indicates that we should be off margin and aggressive traders can sell short. We should sell any long position that if sold at current stop levels would result in a loss. All stops should be at their tightest levels on all positions. Conservative traders may want to hedge their portfolios with contra ETFs, exchange traded funds. This is an incredibly volatile market. Our market timing system went directly from our most aggressive margin signal yesterday to a sell signal today. That doesn't often happen. A sell signal indicates that we can short positions. I personally wouldn't want to short or be on margin at this point. Monday on the New York Stock Exchange, declining issues bettered advancers by better than 2 to 1. New lows swamped new highs, and according to our Ramosi ratio, large capitalization stocks bettered small and continued to outperform on a 10-day moving average basis. Small caps typically outperform in bull markets. Okay, yesterday was a tough day for the bulls. The NASDAQ Composite was down 104.32 or 2.08%. We closed below the psychologically important 500, our 5,000 level, significantly below it at 49.03. Notice how the market gapped below support down here in the 4900 area and has stayed below that all day yesterday and just barely managed to close above it at 49.03 as we mentioned before. Trading volume was very heavy and was above the prior day, giving us a distribution day. For you followers of William O'Neill, yesterday we went directly from a confirmed uptrend in the market to a market in correction. I don't believe I've ever seen that before. And so we're currently in a market in correction. We've been in a market correction since this morning. Right now, the NASDAQ is bracketed by support down here in the 4,900 area where we just barely held yesterday, and resistance up here in the 5164 range. If we break below this 4,900 area, the next level of support is going to be down here at the October lows in the 4506 range. So we'll keep an eye on the NASDAQ going forward. Let's look at the S&P 500. S&P yesterday also had a tough day. We were down 31.28 points or 1.53%. We closed at 2012. Trading volume was heavier than the prior day and was above average. The S&P also went directly from a confirmed uptrend to a market in correction. Right now, the S&P is bracketed by support down here in the 1993 area and resistance up here in the 2044 range. The S&P has been in this downtrend, and we've established this down channel, which it undercut yesterday, but closed inside of. The S&P's in a short-term downtrend here, and that's worth keeping an eye on. We'll see if the S&P can hold this lower trend line and possibly bounce back above the upper trend line. Right now, our market timing model on both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 is on a sell signal. We've gone directly from a margin signal to a sell signal, which is a fairly unusual activity, indicating the volatility in this market. This is a very volatile market, and we need to be very cautious. Just want to point out that in order to go to a sell signal in the market, 4 things needed to take place. First, the S&P 500 had to be trading below its 200-day moving average. We showed the 200-day moving average here in black, and we're trading well below that. Secondly, the 10-day simple moving average, which we show here in green, had to be trending downward. Third, the 21-day exponential moving average, which we show in pink, had to be lower than it was 2 days ago. It's currently lower than it was 2 days ago. And the final criteria is the S&P has to be trading at least 1% below its 21-day exponential moving average. This lower envelope line is 1% below the 21-day exponential moving average. You can see we closed easily below that yesterday. And that's the reason that our market timing signal has gone to a sell. Before we go, I want to talk about 3 stocks. The first, Natural Health Trends, is a network marketer of personal care, wellness, and quality of life products sold under the NHT Global brand. The stock is currently on our universal watch list with a checklist rating of 68. Notice how the stock has been accelerating to the downside here on heavier trading volume. This is a stock that we want to stay away from. We undercut our 200-day moving average, and Natural Health Trends needs to establish a new base before we consider buying the stock. Next stock I want to take a look at is Smith & Wesson Holding Corp. Smith & Wesson manufactures firearms, including revolvers, pistols, rifles, and firearm-related products and accessories. The stock yesterday was up sharply in a down market, and we've had this spike in volume in Smith & Wesson recently. Smith & Wesson right now is in a first stage base. We broke out of that base right here and appear to be working on either a box base right here or a flat base if we can extend the base out 5 weeks. I really like this accumulation volume in Smith & Wesson and would be inclined to buy it if the market went to a buy signal and Smith & Wesson was to break above this area on at least 140% of average daily volume. Last stock I want to take a look at is INC Research Holdings. INC provides phase 1 to phase 4 clinical development services for the biopharmaceutical and medical device industries. The stock recently broke out of this double bottom formation. We actually broke out of the double bottom right here and then went back and retested the 50-day moving average down in this area. We bought the stock when it broke out of the trading range again. Notice how the volume didn't quite reach the 40% threshold. Typically we want to see a 140% increase in trading volume before we actually get into a position. The stock yesterday sold off and closed below its 21-day exponential moving average, which we show in pink. That's a trigger for us to enter a stop at the low of the day for that stock. The stock didn't trigger at 7% stop loss. When we buy a stock, we enter an automatic 7% stop loss. We didn't trigger that 7% stop loss, but we came very close to it. So today we're going to enter a stop on INC Research at the low price of this bar, which closed below its 21-day exponential moving average. That'll give us a stop price of $46. That's about all I have for today. If you want to talk about any of the stocks mentioned today or any of our market strategies, please feel free to give me a call, drop me an email, or make an appointment. Come by the office, see what we're up to. Contact information is on the home page. Please take a minute to go to our subscription page and subscribe to Push Button Stock Trading. You can also follow us on Twitter at PushButtonStock. Again, my name is Cliff Backus. That's your daily video market review. Have a safe and profitable day. Keep your stops in place, and I will see you again tomorrow. Please stay tuned for our important disclaimers. All the best. Disclaimers. Push Button Stock Trading Video Market Review is produced and edited by Clifford B. Backus. Mr. Backus is a Senior Vice President of Investments, Technical Analyst, Portfolio Manager, and Partner with the investment firm of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated. Video Market Review is produced solely for the benefit of our clients, friends, and colleagues. Anything written, stolen, and/or plagiarized in this publication is done without malice. Further, the analysis and opinions expressed in this publication are strictly those of the editor and not of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated, its affiliates, subsidiaries, or any of the officers or employees of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Inc. On that note, we submit the following. The analysis, calculations, and evaluations presented herein are based on data and assumptions Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated believes to be accurate. Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated makes no representation that such analysis or calculations are accurate or that such valuations represent levels at which actual trades may occur. This report has been prepared from original sources, except where otherwise noted, and data we believe to be reliable. Ohannes & Liqueurs, Inc., its affiliates and subsidiaries, and/or their officers and employees or their families may from time to time acquire, hold, or sell a position in the securities mentioned herein. Moreover, opinions may differ from one entity to the next. If we are used in connection with the purchase or sale of any security discussed in this report, we may act as principal for our own account or as agent for both the buyer and the seller. Push Button Stock Trading is dedicated to the education of friends, clients, and paid subscribers. Push Button Stock Trading is an information service only. The information provided herein is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell stocks of any kind. Push Button Stock Trading is created to aid subscribers in making informed investment decisions based wholly or in part on technical analysis. It's possible that at this time or some subsequent date, the editors of Push Button Stock Trading may own, buy, or sell the investments presented. All investors should consult a qualified professional before making any investment. The information provided has been obtained from sources deemed to be reliable, but it is not guaranteed as to the accuracy or completeness. The editors of Push Button Stock Trading make every effort to provide timely information to subscribers, but cannot guarantee specific delivery times due to factors beyond our control.